seeing the distribution from our oil resources where they have gone to. Fisher folks, 150,000. Sugar would have seen the distribution from our oil resources where they have gone to. Fisher folks, 150,000. Sugar workers, 250,000. They are rice farmers, 150,000. Just recently, when the speedboat operators here from Stabrook to Freedom Group protested, the government was able to meet with them to bridge some sort of arrangement. Your issue to us is the discrimination. Look what is happening and the increase in salaries. Public servants did not receive no increases for 2020. But in 2021, they give public servants 7% taxable. 7% taxable. And it is good for me to remind you, my brothers and sisters, that when we took office in May of 2015, the minimum wage was $39,500 and something. We were able to move the minimum wage in less than 5 years from $39,000 to $70,000. And 77%, these are things we ought not to forget. So come 2022, rather than negotiating collective bargaining agreement, meet with union representatives for workers and bargain well on behalf of the workers. They unilaterally decided that they're going to impose 8% increase in salaries for public servants. How can this be fair? How can this be fair, my brothers and sisters? But I want to say to you, as we prepare to celebrate Christmas, spend your money wisely. Spend your money wisely. Hold your pocket, because we don't know what 2023 will bring.
No, we could boost it when we anything.
Comrades, on the issue of increasing salaries, we will recall that when the coalition adjusted the salaries for ministers of government, the PPP, by the main man, Barra Javio, had an issue with it. And he said in October of 2015, if the PPP wins the next election, he will ensure that the salaries of ministers are reversed. But comrades, I got stories to tell you. In 2021, they enjoyed the 7%. In 2022, they will be enjoying the 8% increase in salaries. So you know what is happening there, comrades? The poor will always remain poor. They will always, rather than bridging the gap, we keep widening the gap. And I must let you know that over the 5 years of the coalition government, whenever salaries were increased or adjusted, we did not benefit from no other increases in salaries when the public servants enjoyed salary increases at non-taxable rate. Comrades, the reality is before us. Things hard in this country, things difficult for the ordinary people in this country. But we have a government that don't care. For the 2022 budget, 552.1 billion was approved. They came in February of 2022. In August of 2022, they came back for a $45 billion. Then when we came out from recess in October, just a couple months again, they came back for an additional $45 billion Canadian dollars. We need to ask the questions, where are our monies going? But comrades, you know what I'm going to tell you? They're selling you dreams. The People's Progressive Party said they don't care about you, the ordinary man. They're selling you dreams. Oh, we've been in hospitals. We've been in roads. We've been in bridges. We've been in this and we've been in that. But we got to tell this government, we can't eat roads. We can't eat bridges. We can't eat whatever else they're doing. We need a better life in this country. My brothers and sisters, Guyana is the richest nation in the Caribbean. But we have government, rather than taking us forward, they have taken us backward. Because you know why? Them ain't got vision. They're a bunch of incompetent people. They're a bunch of inept people. And all that they're concerned about is thieving our monies. That's the reality. Where are you seeing the monies? Where are you seeing the monies? Are you seeing the monies? Are you seeing the monies? Look the state of our city. Look the state of many communities. Bishop Angel, 2 weeks ago, stood in the National Assembly and said that his ministry has constructed some 1,053 roads. Now, comrades, I went in to Kinky just a few days ago. And if you see the crates, you understand me? I went in to Sophia today, and if you see the crates in Sophia, so we have to ask the question, where are our monies going? And it clearly shows, it clearly is telling me that the monies are being pilferated in these infrastructure projects. Comrades, I now come to the point of the vending situation because I know my other colleagues will touch on other issues. Look, vending must be addressed in our country. Vending must be organized in our city. It is the responsibility of the municipality to control what happens in the city. But because of the People's Progressive Party, if it can't get their hands on the seat of government at the Georgetown municipality here, they are taking advantage of our mayor. And what was done, the mayor you branched the line on Tuesday was quite an unfortunate one. This man, he is the chief citizen of the South, and he determines what should come in and what should go out. Comrades, Christopher made the point earlier that a situation which occurred on New Market Street should not have occurred. Because that road is not under the remit of the Ministry of Public Works. If they're claiming, as they claim, that, you know, the vendors are blocking the traffic from entering and exiting the Georgetown Public Hospital, the better thing for the central government to do, they should have consulted. There is an article in the Constitution, Article 13, which speaks about inclusion or consultation. And what the central government should have done is to call in the mayor of Georgetown and say, man, how can we work together to solve this problem? But comrades, they don't want this because what? It is African Guyanese who make up the majority of vending in the city. If the government find work for our people, they promise 50,000 jobs. But let them tell us how many jobs out of the 50,000 they were able to provide for our people. If they provide jobs for our people, vending will be a thing of the past. So comrades, as I prepare to take my leave from this podium, I want to say to you, as I started, we have to remain mobilized. We have to remain organized because we've got to come up against this wicked and vindictive government. We must stand with Mayor Yuvraj Naraj. We must stand with him. We must stand with him. They ask all vendors to join in the call. Whenever we ask you to come out in support, you come out and give Yuvraj Naraj and the coalition your fullest support. May God continue to bless our nation. May God continue to bless our city. And may God continue to bless you, the wonderful people called Guyanese. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Annette Ferguson. Another round of applause for her. As I mentioned to you tonight, comrades, there are several young parliamentarians who will be speaking tonight. And without further ado, I would like to invite a young man that you become very familiar with. He's also a member of the Public Accounts Committee of the Parliament of Ghana. And according to the Antashira, the AP and UARC needs to remove this youngster. Because when we talk about perusing financial documents and asking questions, this young man literally makes it his life's duty to scrutinize the People's Progressive Party Civic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the podium Member of Parliament from Region Number 3, Mr. Ganesh Mahipal.
I trust I'm being heard loud and clear. Now let me start off by saying that I've noticed a number of police officers among us. So it is necessary for me to say to them that we have the greatest of respect for you. We know that you are fighting for your survival just like the ordinary citizens of this country. We know that you are hurt at that meager 8% increase. And we know that you are upset that you are instructed to put yourself in groups to gyrate for that 8%. We know that. And we know that when you heard the other sets of increases, you were wondering if you are not equally entitled. But I want to assure you, the members of the force, that with an AP and UASC government that will return in the shortest possible time, we will return decency to our organization. We will return professionalism that was there from 2015 to 2020. And we will ensure that the blue and black and the red and the brown and whatever other ceremonial outfit and uniform you have to wear is saluted in all its forms. But I am upset tonight because it requires the police to also stand up against political instructions. It requires the police to operate in a manner that is impartial, that is non-political, that is not biased. So tonight I want to say to the Guyana police first that police brutality must stop, starting with the top. Police brutality must stop, starting with the top cop. And I assure you, officers, that you will be better police officers under an APNU, AFC government. To you, my friends, I want you to put your hands together and shout loudly for Mayor Ubraj Narai. Of Georgetown. Ubraj Narai has demonstrated the true sense of what a leader is. Ubraj Narai stood up in the strongest of manner for you. And today it is your turn to stand up for him. For the 23 years the People's Progressive Party spent in office, democracy was under threat. Democracy was under threat. They had Chedi Jagan. They had Janet Jagan. They had Samain Sawande. They had Bharat Jagdeo. They had Donald Ramotar. And all of that, all of them, democracy was slowly being brutalized. Democracy was slowly being killed. Democracy was slowly being murdered. Democracy was basically lying in an ICU unit. From 2015 to 2020, with David Granger, democracy flourished. Democracy was respected. Democracy was embraced. Democracy rose to the occasion. From 2020 August to today, in fact, yesterday, democracy was killed. Democracy was murdered. Democracy was taken away from the people of Guyana. And it was done by no less a person than Irfan Ali and his cronies. Irfan Ali and his cronies killed democracy. They murdered democracy. They took away democracy from us. And Bishop Angel was like the mortician when he went to Newmarket Street and he attempted to fetch democracy, to put democracy into the morgue. So Bishop Angel tried to tell us, the people of this country, that he can take the dead democracy and put it into the icebox. And he wanted to close the door. But you, the people of Georgetown, you are the people who surrounded democracy. And I am telling you, the same way how Jesus Christ rose for his people, democracy will rise for Guyana. Democracy will rise for Guyana. It is just a matter of time. We will not allow the killers and the undertakers to take away democracy. democracy. We will bring democracy back to life. And we will ensure that democracy lives on. Because democracy is enshrined in our Constitution. Democracy is in our book, the Constitution of Guyana. Article 70 to Article 82 of our Constitution, Chapter 7, speaks extensively as to what local democracy is about. And you know why I admire Mayor Ubraj? Because even though Ubraj knows that this is an installed regime that came to power on fraudulent votes with 49 ballot boxes, not having statutory documentation to verify the votes in them, even though Ubraj Narai knows that they were missing poll books, they were missing oaths of identity, they were unsigned oaths of identity. Even though Ubraj Narai knows that elections 2020 was marred with corruption, fraud, abnormalities, irregularities, and anomalies, he stretched out his hands. Since 2020, Ubraj stretched out his hands. And he has been asking Irfan Ali to work with the mayor and councillors of the city of Georgetown. He has been asking Ejul. He has been asking Darren Lal. He has been asking Anand Prasad. He asked all of them, work with me. Work with the city of Georgetown so that we can make life better for the people of Georgetown. But these cantankerous Kabakabites who crawl in the wheels of the morning wants to show us that they have no time with Ubraj Narayan and the people of Georgetown. They have no love for Georgetown. They have no respect for Georgetown. They have no adoration for Georgetown. But they want Georgetown to respect them. But I say to you, comrades, that strength, that valiant strength that Ubraj Narayan demonstrated is what caused him to be at Newmarket Street that morning at 4 o'clock to fight for you, to fight for the ordinary Guyanese, because Ubraj Narayan comes from humble beginnings. Ubraj Narayan understands what it is to be poor. He understands what it is to fight for your children and your grandchildren, and he understands what is it to make ends meet. And he knows that we are living at a time when cost of living is throwing us off guard and taking charge. But comrades, you have to rally with us. This is not a fight that we can fight alone. This is a fight that calls for you to join with us. This is a fight that we have to take to the enemy. And we have to prepare ourselves and move in numbers. We have to move in numbers. And we have to send a message to this installed regime. We have to send a strong message. And that message is, we shall take no more from them. We shall take no more from them. And they have to respect local democracy. Call an election early with a clean voters list. Call an election early with a clean voters list. And together, we will come together and we will vote them out. We will vote them out. Are we going to do it? Can we do it? We must do it. We have to do it for our children, for our grandchildren, and for the future of Guyana. So together I say with you, stay united as one people, one nation, one destiny, as we rally as the ABNUAFC. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Y'all feeling good? So Starbuck Square, we still got some other speakers to come, and they will continue to bring you the message. But quickly, the two previous speakers made some very valid points. And Ferguson made the point that though we are in the festive season, and as Guyanese is tradition, we love Christmas, and we tend to spend a little bit more, and then we end up overspending. But then we gotta look at where we're spending and who we are spending with. And on that note, I want to bring this to your attention. There is an organization in this country, like many other organizations, but these organizations conveniently find their voices. They will speak on certain issues and they remain silent on many others. One such organization happens to be the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. And let me repeat that very loudly. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. Last evening, this organization had a dinner, traditional every year, and they invite several people, members of their organization, prominent citizens, politicians, etc. One such invitation was extended to His Worship, the Mayor of the city of Georgetown, of which the largest number of the members of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce operate. And after His Worship, the Mayor, Narain, stood up for the rights of vendors, the ordinary man and woman in this country, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce withdrew the invitation to His Worship, the Mayor, to attend their dinner last night. Hold on. So after the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce withdrew the invitation to His Worship, the Mayor, and they felt in their hearts that they did something wonderful. And you know, when you give somebody something, you just got to take back something. It's called reciprocity. So last night at this dinner, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce that withdrew the invitation to the mayor then asked the installed President Fanali that they want him to reduce the taxes for them to buy new vehicles. Forbes Burnham always said that is a sign of maturity when you read not only what is on the lines, but what is between the lines. Because just before I got up here, myself and MP Desir were looking to see if the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce issued a statement when Suku detained the lawyer from leaving the office, which was condemned right across the Caribbean. We didn't see any condemnation from the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. Equally, all of us saw the infamous videotape with one Charandas Prasad in India verbally abusing an Indian national. And across this country, there were calls and condemnation of this behavior. We didn't see any condemnation from the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. Maturity. Read not only what is on the lines, but what is between the lines. And to reiterate what Annette Ferguson said, in this festive season, when we tend to spend and overspend, we must know who we're spending and where we're spending. It was the Guyana Youth and Student Movement and YST that did a boycott some years ago to the Kashif and Shanghai organization. Y'all remember that? And it was the Guyana Youth and Student Movement that called a boycott to the main big line that used to be on Main Street. Y'all remember that? And to this day, we haven't seen the Kashif and Shanghai organization kick a ball yet. And on the north of the Main Street line, on December 26, Congress Place is the place to be, because the main green line has been organized by the youth arm of the PNC. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I take the honor and the pleasure to invite, I don't want to call the gentleman a convict because he's not, but under the People's Progressive Party Civic, they want to ensure they give him that label. But he will not accept that, because we view him as our mouthpiece, as our defender, as that constant thorn in the side of the People's Progressive Party Civic. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise as we invite in the ring, Sherrod Avery Duncan. All right, folks. Good night, Stephen Murky. How we doing? Folks, I'm really happy that some of you came from very far to be here. Some of you have come from near. We're thankful for all of you. We're in such a critical point in this nation's history. We cannot take any moment lightly, folks. We gotta stay focused, because there's so much happening around to distract us. So much happening around to distract us. You know, there's some folks who style themselves as bishop. They style themselves as a high priest. But the good book that I believe in instructs me that many shall say, Lord, Lord, but in that great and terrible day of judgment, you shall say to one that shall depart from me. I never knew you. The good book says, as much as you do to the least of them, you've done it unto the Father. So how can we strong arm the vendors of this city? How can we evict them at Christmas time? How heartless is that? How heartless is that? You know, when they start to demonstrate the tendencies of jagabats and trench croppers, you have to call them that. They're jagabats, they're trench croppers, they're backpoles, they're cricketers. It's the whole animal farm we're dealing with. You got the black belly sheep, you got the Brahman bull, you got the giant black chicken. It's a full animal farm. But we are remain focused, because these folks will want to distract us. Comrades, I hope you're understanding the times we're in. You know, our late great poet, Martin Carter, he says this is the dark time. We had a gentleman a few short months ago who was assassinated, shot down on Main Street. We still want to know who killed him. We still want to know. And that was just a short distance from State House. That investigation is still wide open. You know, there's a policeman who told us some things, who might be responsible, and who is timing the investigation. They will want to distract us, comrades, but we will remain focused. When they were campaigning, they promised us a crime prevention plan, but we still waiting. And I'm saying, folks, that that fella in Main Street is not safe and was not safe. How much more for the rest of us? You know, they promised us so much. I went right on America Street close by. 2 money changers were shot recently. How safe are we in our own country? There was a woman sitting in a patio, folks, right there in Shirley Lee. Them boys jumped the fence and robbed Big Auntie. How safe are we in this country? You know, we were turning a corner. The former Minister of National Security is going to follow public security cameras. We are doing some work in this country. You know, Gani said it. We respect our police force. You know, we respect our police force. We respect our lawmen. But we recognize that there has been some degradation in the police force, and we got to stop it. We got to stop it. A lot of us got our own qualms with the leadership of the coalition, and in some instances for good reason. But when David Arthur Granger was looking for a commissioner of police, he says, I want someone incorruptible. I don't know who the current man who styles himself as the head of state was looking for. What was his criteria for a commissioner of police? That we've landed where we have landed. And we have seen what we have seen coming out of the Ghana police force. Like many citizens of our country, just like you, I want to know who killed her in Boston. These many months later, a whole SWAT team descended on Dartmouth Village and on the Essequibo Coast and shot a citizen of this country unarmed in his own bedroom. Without being safe with your wife sleeping in your own bedroom, as a businessman, as a citizen in this country, where can you be safe? And we have not forgotten, far up in West Province, a place called Cockery, where those young men were killed so brutally. Isaiah and his cousin chopped mercilessly in the back down. Their mother has died since then. An aunt has died since then. And yet, we are awaiting justice. Folks, justice stands afar off. In this country we have. Justice is not won in this one Guyana. Justice serves some people, but some other folks, it is elusive. We got to fix that, folks. But I say tonight, we cannot do it with these dragons. We cannot do it with these trench coppers. We got to bring in a team that understands how to fight crime. We got to bring a team that understands how to fix the economy. Because never has there been a moment in our nation's history when we've been so wealthy but so poor all at the same time. And economists will tell you, since August 2nd, 2020, we have pumped more than $1 trillion into this economy. Over $1 trillion. How come the city still look the same way? Pothole streets, garbage everywhere. How come it still look like 2015 when these guys were in and doing their thing? How come it still look the same way? $1 trillion in this economy. I thought them boys in Jack were smart. I thought them boys in the day can be good and better stewards of the economy. And how come we so wealthy, but we still poor? You know, it was a Jamaican singing decades ago who said that we're very full, but we're hungry. And how so much true is that? We had Mayor Motley here just to shoot a few short months ago who said, Guyanese, if we don't share this wealth among ourselves, we are going to be tenants in our own country. And every living goddamn day, that's what we're seeing. Somebody could come from Timbuktu and get 500 acres of land, and we right here can't get an acre and a mule. We have become tenants in our own country. And so the billions and billions that our oil that is supposed to be for your child and my child and our grandchildren and their children's children will continue to leave our shores, and we will continue to be tenants in our own country, because you know what? We got these jagabots and trench coppers to deal with. And they're trying with us, folks. And if they can try with us, I can tell you this, they're going to try with you as well, my sister. They're going to try with you as well, my brother. But we got to stand strong. We have to have the testicular fortitude to withstand these jagabots. Kwame would know about testicular fortitude. I heard Balrat, Jackie Kwame, and them. I dare not repeat it here. We have an honorable mayor. This is a married man with children. He's a family man. You see, when he goes home in the evening, he isn't haunted by the demons of his past and present. When the president goes home, he isn't making deals in his living room with Sue, with investors. You see, he is looking after the people of this country. Opus the Ring is looking after the people of this city. But Bharat Chandyo, Irpanani, and the likes, they are looking after friends, family, and favorites, as Kemrat would say. And as I wrap up, I tell you this, the good book says, we must weep for those that weep, we must joy for those that are joyful. And a couple of nights ago, there was some confusion there in the hospital. They were about to move some vendors. I was about to go in my bed when I was alerted. When folks, I never saw protest on the like. So I put on my boots, because you gotta be boots on the ground in these times. And I got out of my house. Nobody had to give me the marching orders. And I was so excited and so happy that when the mayor called, he says, Mr. Duncan, you need to be here. I said, Chief, I'm 5 minutes off. I'm 5 minutes off. We don't run from the battle. We head to the front of it. We're not like them jagabots and trench coppers. You see, no rain can hold me back. You see, no rain can stop us. And I saw the brutality of this state in that street, that hospital, American Street. And let me tell you why they're upset. I will tell you why they're upset. You see, this government would like to run over Afro-Guyanese. You see, they realize they have an Afro-Guyanese problem. And that is what they're after. And I saw something a couple of months ago I've never seen before in my lifetime. There we were, the police advancing in their strength. If you see the guns that they brought out, what? If you see the guns they brought out for vendors, I didn't see those guns a couple hours ago when the guns were really needed. If you see police, police armed to the teeth for vendors. But in that process, folks, folks, the hotter the battle, they say, the sweeter the victory. I saw people there, police holding hands, ready to take that caravan away. And there was Mayor Rich Narain with us. And then suddenly, I saw the mayor disappear. I said, this is Houdini. And I know Then there's some folks who run from danger. But I know we got a mayor who is made of stronger stuff, who is made of stronger stuff. And when we met the mayor, lo and behold, there was the mayor under the truck. He said, you're going to move this one caravan, you're going to roll it over me. Folks, it was the most selfless act I have seen in my entire lifetime. The engine was on, the folks weren't bluffing. The engine of that truck was on, and the mayor could have been run over at any given moment. You see? But he wasn't thinking about himself. Like these selfless, these selfish people we got to deal with in this government. And we know they were selfish, because if not, they would have been consulting the vendors and not bulldozing the vendors. The two-branch line, it is like down. And as Christopher Jones said recently, if a man has not found a reason to die, Martin Luther King says he is in fact to live. And on that street, 2 o'clock a morning, I saw two-branch line from the reason to die. Don't show us, don't tell us about a one Guyana. Show us what it is. Show me you are willing to lay down your life for Afro-Guyanese, and I will show you a leader, and I will show you one Guyana. And I say this here tonight, don't fear or favor, affection or will. If you're from Ali and his government should last 1,000 years, you will never see a greater moment of one Guyana than we saw that night in Newmarket Street. I don't care how many Afro-Guyanese community you go to, you will never see it. Talk to me about one Guyana, one Agile. If you are willing to lay down your life for the people of Pontrench Dam, but no, you are willing to bulldoze them, that is not one Guyana. Show me one Guyana when you are willing to treat the people who squat in charity the same way you treat the people who squat at Kelvin Baka, and then I'll show you one Guyana. But in that dark street, 2 o'clock in the morning, I saw an Indian mayor, an Indo-Guyanese mayor. He says, I will lay down my life for these black people here. Because you know what? In one Guyana, right got to be right, and wrong got to be wrong. Lies got to be lies, and truth got to be truth. Finally, folks, finally, in just under 2-3 years, we've seen so much decay and degradation in this nation of ours. I think it was aptly demonstrated quite recently by the Caribbean Court of Justice saying to our installed Attorney General, you sir, you chat 3, you chat 4, you have brought the entire administration of justice into disrepute. They didn't talk with Ubach, didn't talk with Christopher, didn't talk with Ganesh, didn't talk with Amanza. They were talking to the Deputy Attorney General and saying, you have brought the entire administration of justice into disrepute. They weren't content with them. They weren't content with that. A few short weeks later, we saw what transpired at Soku. But Jamaica Clark, that your attorney, standing up for a client, detained by Soku. Every right-thinking Guyanese know what happened there, that they were wrong. She filed private criminal charges. And you know what? The TPP in this one Guyana threw it out. in this country is slowly becoming Prince family favorites. Say, she's rolled the 19 fraud charges for Ali. In this one, that's the NDP. But yet all the charges that were laid before coalition members stand. She rolled the charges against Credit Hussein and all the charges for coalition people since then. She rolled the charges probably on the wall for the law books. And yet the charges for coalition members in this one still stands. She rolled the charges for who else? Ashley Singh and Buzzington, and yet in this one Guyana, all of the charges laid against coalition members. Can that be one Guyana? Professor Cruz, we got some ways to go. We still got some ways to go. Don't get weary yet. Don't get weary yet, folks. Don't give up. Don't give in. It's time not to retire. It's time to refire. Folks, we got an election to win. Whether they call it a local government or they call it a central government, we have an election to win. We all gonna live in this country. It belongs to all of us. And we're gonna try to be politically correct. It belongs to the people who support the PPP. It belongs to the people who support the Abdul AC. All of us! But these guys have shown us in the last three years that they're not the ones to lead us into the promised land. They're not the ones! And so I encourage you, Chris has articulated so well, the struggle with the voters list, the struggle with the boundary situation, changing the boundaries in constituencies to suit themselves. Don't give up, don't give in, no retreat, no surrender, stay focused, and don't worry with the church rappers, with the jagabots, with the tadpoles, with the cricketers. They're going to try to distract us, but we got to hold the focus, and together we're going to be victorious. Thank you, Stabrook. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless your families. Thank you very much, Sheriff Duncan. Make some noise for him tonight. Come let me say to you, rain or sun, the coalition is on the move, and we will keep going there. We want to bring to the podium a young fiery lady before our main speaker in the person of Mr. Kenneth Ramjatan. Ladies and gentlemen, before she comes quickly, there she comes. Make some noise as we welcome Amanza Walton this year.
Good night, Stabrook. I said good night, Stabrook. You know, I am so encouraged as I stand here today because my Bible tells me that when the good Lord wishes to bless an event, He sends showers of blessing. And so we will stand here tonight. The rain will not touch us. The wind will not touch us because these are showers of blessing on a righteous struggle because our cause is just and our struggle is righteous. We are struggling for the soul of our democracy. We are struggling for the lives and livelihood of our people. And we will stand in the rain, in the wind to do that. My brothers and sisters, you have heard the speaker before me talk about the sad state that we have come this country in. We know the facts. We know that they have made the state into a police state. The good men and women in the Guyana police force are being forced to comply with illegal and unlawful instructions, to comply with instructions that do not live up to their mandate of protection and service. We know that they are distributing the wealth of Guyana to their friends, their families, and their favorites. Trillions of dollars come into this economy, and the ordinary man and woman, according to the World Bank report, has to miss 1 meal a day in this oil-rich Guyana. That is unacceptable, and we will not stand for it. What we will stand for is the equitable distribution of our resources, because Guyana belongs to every one of us. Guyana belongs to every Guyanese man, woman, and child, not just the PPP friends and favorites. We know what the problems are, comrades. Brothers and sisters, we know what the problems are. But let me tell you what we are going to do about the problems. Because we're not just here to talk about the problems, but we are here to tell you what we will do to fix the problems. Because let me tell you, we cannot do this alone. We have our role to play, and you have your role to play. The PPP, they have perfected the art of waging psychological warfare on the people of Guyana. They will have their trolls and their influencers going into the communities to tell our people what they ever do for you. What the AP and UAFC ever do for you. Look, we could throw this money at you. But let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. We are building a nation. And when you are building a nation, you have to build your nation on sure foundation. A foundation of law and order. A foundation where every man, woman, and child is equal before the law. A Guyana where we are entitled and we receive our fair share of the pie. That is what we are entitled to. That is what we are entitled to. That is what we stand for. So they like to come to tell you, what have they done for you? Let me tell you what we have done for the people of Guyana. Because our vision is not to build a Guyana on sinking sand, to build a Guyana on corruption and kickbacks. Our vision is to build a Guyana where Guyanese can walk proudly in clean streets, in well-clean drains, in smooth roads they can drive, that they can enjoy as much as their hard work would allow them. And so we started tackling corruption. Guyana had its best ratings on the anti-corruption index under the AP and UAFC. We removed us from the blacklist, which saw our ability to do money transfers being severely curtailed. That is how you build a nation, on the sure foundation. We invested in education, we invested in healthcare, we invested in security. There is not one citizen that can honestly say to me that they did not feel safer in the 5 years of the AP and UAFC than they feel today. Because we are a party of law and order. Men and women could walk in safety in the street. That is what we did for Guyana. But the PPP come with their tricks to say, look, we could throw this money at you. What have they ever done for you? Building our nation on sinking sand. And we know what the good book says, that if you build your house on sinking sand, when the wind and the waves come, it's going to be swept away. We will not allow our Guyana to be swept away. We will fight for Guyana to be built on the sure foundation. One of the greatest orators of our time says, truth is the only foundation upon which to stand. And we will stand on truth, we will stand on democracy, we will stand on law and order. The other trick that they play is that they go into our communities and they say to our young people, here now, it don't matter which government they're in power, you still got to work hard. But when they go into their communities, you know what they say to the people? Make sure you go out and vote, because your future depends on it.
And comrades, you see this PDP government literally eroding local government. When you see Fanari bringing out members of the Guyana Defense Force and having them cleaning gutter and claiming that they're cleaning up Guyana. It is not only disrespectful to our servicemen and women to bring them out and have them cleaning gutter. You ask yourself the question, why would a government bring out the army and the police to clean gutter when you have prisoners? When you have prisoners who you could bring out and have them clean, and they approve hundreds of millions of dollars for every government ministry and every government agency, rates and taxes. And you ask the mayor, to this day, 11 months after the budget has been passed, those ministries and those government agencies have not paid those taxes over to the Georgetown City Council. And you go throughout the country, you go to NDCs that are controlled by the coalition. Like for example, you saw recently in Maka, where Fanali with his pompous self turned up in Maka and disrespected the elected chairman of the Maka NDC, because the Maka NDC chairman was asking the question, because this government sought to give NDCs a $5 million grant, and the chairman of the Maka NDC was asking here finally, how come his NDC didn't get the money, and several other NDCs that are controlled by the coalition. So when they start the Georgetown City Council and those municipalities and those NDCs, and they can't execute the work, if finally turns up in the village like a God savior. Oh, the road bad, I go fix it. Oh, the other street lights, I go put them up. Oh, the church got a dig, I go get them done. And everybody in the village, some of them get carried away. Because I saw some folks in Maka who got carried away. And there was loud round of applause for your finale. That is a setup. That is the setup, and it's the same thing that they're doing in Georgetown. And it made the point, anything to happen in the city of Georgetown, there is a local government body elected by you, and they have to speak or engage His Worship the Mayor of Georgetown. But even in that, and I spoke about the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce.
Randy, this thing is still
you don't see or hear the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce calling upon this government, illegal as they are, to engage His Worship the Mayor and the city of Georgetown. But you know, even to that, there's a story behind that too. The private sector, the Chamber of Commerce, there was a story behind that too. Because if His Worship the Mayor really wants to take them to task, he will come, whether it's on national television or a program like this, and he will read out the names of all of those businesses in Regent Street, in Robb Street, in Charlotte Street, in Camp Street, that owes the Georgetown City Council hundreds of millions of dollars. They won't pay. You understand me? They won't pay. So that is the situation we have in this country. Blatant before your eyes discrimination. It is good for the vendors at Monrepo Market that the minister could drive till up to Monrepo and meet with them in an air-conditioned boardroom while they enjoy fruit juice, pine tart and cheese roll. But when it comes to the black vendors at the Georgetown Public Hospital, it is bandloads of members of the Guyana Police Force armed to the teeth and heavy-duty machinery to remove the equipment that they use to ply their trade. How could that be fair? Recently we saw Attorney at Law Nigel Hughes and others and the amount of contracts awarded to one ethnic group in this country worth billions of dollars. And what does this illegal administration do? They go to places like Orboystown, Tiger Bay, and they dole out contracts to clean gutter. Now I have no difficulty, no problem with an honest neighbor, irrespective of what you do. But are you saying that the people in Orboystown and Tiger Bay, they want the $100+ million contract too? What is different with them as opposed to contracts that you have been issuing throughout?
Is it recording, Randy? You're recording?
Every long road has an end.
We're just streaming?
It was streaming before because
Every long road has an end. And as I said to you, the vendors out here at the Starbucks Market Square, as I said to you, the minibus operators outside of the Starbucks Market Square, as I am saying to you, the taxi drivers out here at the Starbucks Market Square, when your neighbor house on fire, throw water on you. When your neighbor house on fire, throw water on you. Because a few days ago, it was the vendors at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Monday, God forbid, could be you out here at the Starbucks Market Square. And that is what we talk about when we speak about one for all for one. When you stand up to fight for rights and freedom of expression and democracy, is every shoulder to the wheel. You have to ask yourself the question, what type of country I want to leave for my children and grandchildren?
Good one.
Do I want to leave one in which, because of their ethnicity, they are denied jobs, denied contracts, they are discriminated against? Police to come and lock you up because you talk up. You ever see the Joan David Granger administration? You have people who used to cost David Granger and the AP and UAFC administration every day trigger loose. You never see the police going and lock up nobody.
What can we do? But
that is how dictators operate. That is why when we say that Guyana is now in a dictatorship, that is what we refer to. This sort of behavior, when you see police going and arrest the mayor, y'all ever seen in Trinidad, or in Barbados, or in the US? They're going to lock up the mayor because the mayor asks a question. And likewise, many of you ask the same question like the folks in Region 5. This government is doing roadworks in Region 5. And how you know that they are discriminating against some villages? I got the figures on the phone. I can't take out the phone now. But in Bushlat, for example, the PPP is constructing or rehabilitating 23 roads in Bushlat. Just a few villages away from Bushlat, there is a village named Woktown. Y'all know Woktown? You want to guess how many roads they are renovating in Woktown? One. You understand? One. So they're rehabilitating 23 roads in Bushlat, but in Woktown, they're doing one. I can't even take the phone out to go through the list. But comrades, that is what we're fighting against. As I close this meeting tonight, we reiterate to you that Guyana is a country that is blessed with all of the resources you can possibly think about. with a country with less than 1 million people, where every single Chinese, irrespective of his race, irrespective of his political persuasion, irrespective of his religion, irrespective of his sexual orientation, is entitled to enjoy every benefit from this country. You must be able to apply for a house lot and receive that not based on your ethnicity or who you vote for. You must be able to apply for contracts for hundreds of millions of dollars and be rewarded that contract not because of your ethnicity or which political party you support. That is the country that we want to live in. That is the country in which the AP and UAFC government set out to achieve. And we say to you tonight, comrades, that we have to ensure that we bequeath to our children and grandchildren a country in which they can live. We implore upon you to keep watch with us. Don't be distracted with this one Guyana. Because as Sheriff Duncan rightfully said, it cannot be a one Guyana when half of the country feels discriminated against. This talk about one Guyana will remain but a fleeting illusion
To be pursued,
but
never
But
attained.
once there is discrimination in this country by the FNI administration, it will not be achieved.
Yeah.
And one Guyana is not but fancy jingles and Christmas village on Main Street. Because when you walk through the Christmas village, the next morning you're walking in your kitchen. And if you have got bread to put on the table for your picnic, you can't carry the one Guyana Christmas village to the bank and tell them you're not alone. You can't carry the one Guyana Christmas village to your landlord and say, look, the rent. You can't carry that to GPL. So what they keep doing with you is showing you fancy lights and colors and children in colorful dresses holding hand and swinging and singing Kumbaya. What a beautiful country Guyana is. But behind the scene is racial discrimination that is happening. Comrades, we close this meeting by thanking you for standing with us, for standing out here in the pouring rain. For those of you listening to us via the live stream across the world on social media. Tonight, Sheriff Duncan brought in the ring outside of the Starbuck Market Square. So we say good night to those viewers and listeners there in Canada, in England, in the United States, and parts of the Caribbean. And we say to you, support the team. You can get us on the Cash App and all of that. Comrades, I thank you for coming out. If we don't meet before Christmas, we, on behalf of the leadership of the AP and UAFC, that six-party magnificent coalition, we extend best wishes to you and your families. We pray that the Almighty, whoever He be to you, bless your home with bountiful food. We pray that He lines your pocket with the necessary resources that is needed to take care of your families. We pray that you gather your families together, those that you may have fallen bad friendship with, that you take a time, a calm, and a patience. Reach out to them. If you were guilty, say you're sorry. And I say that on a note, comrades, that you never know when the Almighty may call upon you or your loved ones. And don't be standing over their graveside crying, oh, you wish you had one more day with them. Make that day today or tomorrow. Richest blessings to you, comrades. On behalf of the AP and UAFC, we thank you for coming out tonight, and we ask that you continue to watch with us. Better days are coming. Every long road has an end. We will restore democracy in this country. We will restore freedom of expression in this country. We will restore the rights of every Guyanese for freedom of speech, expression, the right to work, earn, and the right to develop themselves and families. We thank you for tonight. Good evening, comrades.